Good evening, high school football fans. This is the High School Football America radio show for October the 12th, 2017. I'm Jeff Fisher, host of the show and founder and editor-in-chief of highschoolfootballamerica.com. We've got a big weekend ahead of us in the Top 100, the High School Football America Top 100. That's created with our proprietary algorithm. We have 7 big games featuring Top 100 versus Top 100 this week, including the big game in Miami, Florida this evening, where number 45, the Bulls of Northwestern, taking on Carroll City, the defending 6A champs. You can follow that game live at highschoolfootballamerica.com. All you have to do is go to highschoolfootballamerica.com, click on the scores tab. You'll see our Top 100 scoreboard live, powered by ScoreStream. Drop down, and you can follow that game along with the other 3 games that are involving top 100 teams tonight. Number 52, the Woodlands out of Texas, putting their 2-1 record on the line against Westbrook in Oklahoma. It's number 56, Owasso, trying to keep rebounding from that loss a couple of weeks ago in double overtime to Union. They have Southmore, the SaberCats, this evening. And the final game in the top 100 tonight is Midway, number 82, out of Texas, out of Waco, taking on Killeen, the Kangaroos. And you can watch all of those games as they go on our ScoreStream live scoreboard. You ought to download the app before you go out to your favorite game this weekend. You can keep everybody informed with how your team is doing. You can also upload videos and photographs. It's a lot of fun. Get the app. Go to Google Play or the iTunes Store. But it will be a great weekend of high school football across America. We even have some championship trophies being handed out this weekend. The first 2 champs will be handed out in Alaska as the Division II and III brackets will play their championship games at Palmer High School in Alaska. The big schools, the Division I schools will, because last year it used to be big schools, medium schools, and small schools. It's been like that for a long time, but this year they switched it up to 1, 2, and 3. Soldotna, the top team in Alaska, going after its 6th straight state championship. The Stars are good, and they will play Palmer, but they have to play Palmer at home. So it'll be interesting to see how the Stars handle that state championship game. And in the Division III championship game, which will be played Saturday, both of the games will be played on Saturday, and you can follow them at highschoolfootballamerica.com. Barrow, the Whalers. Remember how they made national news years ago? It's the only school above the Arctic Circle. They've got polar bears that are just a couple of 100 yards away from the football field there. The Jacksonville Jaguars, they gave them some blue turf to put down. Well, the Whalers are going to be playing for a state championship. They will be taking on Homer. That game will be played also at Palmer High School. But just a fun weekend. We have a big game out here that we will be going to tomorrow night. We will be on Facebook Live. Our Facebook, by the way, is facebook.com/High School Football America. But number 1, top-ranked Mater Dei is going to take on number 15, St. John Bosco. We'll have a little bit more on that game coming up in just a little bit. Before we get too deep into what's going on in the top 100 this weekend, want to let you know that we have a big show tonight. We've expanded it. We've got 4 nice interviews on the show this evening, and we're going to start things off with a young man out of Arkansas who had a huge game last Friday. Plays for Pulaski Academy. Pulaski, number 87 in the High School Football America Top 100. They are the 3-time defending champs in the state of Arkansas, and Lane Hatcher threw for 745 yards on Friday night, taking down Little Rock Christian, a battle of unbeatens there, and Lane Hatcher is going to come on and talk about what was a record-setting performance in Arkansas and almost the best ever in high school football as he came up just a little shy. The 745 yards ranks 3rd on the all-time list in high school football, and you know there's been a lot of football games played over the last 100-plus years, and Lane Hatcher will be joining us in just a little bit. Also on the show, we're going to be talking with the head coach of the number 80 team in the High School Football America Top 100, the Harrisburg Cougars out of the middle part of Pennsylvania. And they have one of the best players in the country there, Micah Parsons, a 2-way star. Some say he could play either offense or defense at the next level in the NCAA. He is considered the 5th best overall college prospect right now by 24/7 Sports. Great defensive end, but he's also a real good running back. And his head coach, Cal Everett, is going to come on the show here tonight and talk about rebuilding that proud program there. They had a pretty good stretch of some down years, but the Cougars Tigers now going real well, 6-0 coming into this weekend, and they are ranked number 80 in the High School Football America Top 100. And we're going to wrap up with the show with a real good interview here, or interviews, I should say. Jason Strunk, who writes the Turnaround blog for us here at High School Football America. He's been doing it since 2012, the head coach at Lubbock that he's trying to turn around there. They've had their struggles through the years, 4+ decades of not making the playoffs, except for 1 year. Strunky did it, and we were able to follow that on the blog. But he's going to be joined in the interview tonight by Max Catwinkle, the head coach at Lubbock Cooper High School. They will play each other tomorrow night, and these guys really kind of epitomize what the coaching fraternity is all about. They enjoy each other's company. They break bread with their wives. They go out. They went out this past weekend, Strunky wrote in the last blog, and had dinner together, and they're going to talk about the relationship that they have there. Yeah, they're going to try and beat each other's brains out tomorrow night, but it really kind of shows you what high school football coaching is all about. So we're going to have them on the back end of the show, and that will be a lot of fun. Hey, we talked about our Facebook page. Make sure you also follow us on Twitter. HSFB America is the way to follow us when we're away from the microphone here, and I always like to interact with you guys, whether it's on Facebook or Twitter. Feel free to ask your questions. We've got a couple of poll questions going on out there right now. Who's going to win the big game out here in Southern California between Mater Dei and St. John Bosco? We also have one going in Jersey there. The big game will be played Saturday there, and I'll tell you what, each and every week we've had some great games going on in New Jersey. This weekend is going to feature 2 games within the top 100. I think we've had that over the last 2 or 3 weekends, to be honest, where we've had a couple of top 100 matchups each weekend. The big game on Saturday that I'm talking about pits number 25, St. Peter's Prep, taking on Bergen Catholic. St. Peter's Prep has played well over the last 2 weekends, especially in the second half, as they've had to fight back from being down against ranked opponents against Paramus Catholic a couple of weeks ago. That was a rematch of the non-public Group 4 championship from last year. And then last week against DePaul Catholic, St. Peter's Prep had to come back. They went for 2 with under a minute to go, and then had to hope and pray that a short field goal by DePaul wouldn't go through. It didn't. St. Peter's walked away with a 22-21 victory. Bergen Catholic, coming off of its bye week, hopefully got some health there. And I'll tell you what, one of our new partners, and we're really enjoying this partnership, Sports Pass, is using all of the High School Football America Top 100 regional and statewide rankings. They do great audio. They're on over 100 stations in 46 different markets around the country, and Sports Pass is doing some special audio for this game. So we're tweeting out Sports Pass all week long. Their handle, follow them. It is Sports Pass 1, the number 1, not spelling out 1, Sports Pass 1. They have some great coverage leading up to the game, and they will also have some post-game coverage, as we will as well. But that's a big one in Jersey, along with Pope John the 23rd, which entered the rankings this week at 98 after crushing former number 52 Paramus Catholic last weekend. The Lions will continue to try and climb that top 100 ladder. This weekend they face St. Joseph Regional out of Montvale. St. Joe's ranked number 46. Again, we've got 7 big matchups in the top 100 this weekend. We talked about Miami's Northwestern taking on Carroll City tonight. The other games that are going on, and again, we mentioned Mater Dei St. John Bosco. We're going to have a little bit more on that coming up in just a second once we get through all the big top 100 matchups. In Georgia, number 4 Grayson taking on number 95 Archer, a battle of unbeatens there in that one. In Texas, there's a good old backyard brawl, as they say, in Austin, as number 36 Lake Travis, the defending state champs, taking on number 61 Westlake. Lake Travis has had the upper hand in this series over the last 4 or 5 years. Last year, Lake Travis handing Westlake 2 losses in the season. They beat them during the regular season and then in the state quarterfinals, so that's a big game. And the other top 100 matchup will be in Florida. New team to the High School Football America Top 100, Cardinal Gimmids, coming coming in at number 99, taking on number 10 American Heritage out of Plantation, Florida. A lot of shakeups, and you can go to highschoolfootballamerica.com. We're not going to go through all the top 100 here, but a lot of people asking, what has been going on over the last 2 weeks. The algorithm has been tested, that's for sure. 2 weeks ago, we had number 5, St. Thomas Aquinas, being beaten in Arizona by Centennial. Not only did that knock St. Thomas Aquinas down, but it also brought down St. John Bosco, which was sitting pretty at number 6 with a close overtime loss to STA in the season opener, 9-3. So it dragged Bosco down 10 points from 6 to 16. St. Thomas Aquinas dropped all the way down to number 29. They climb up to number 26 this week. But the one that shocked the rankings, the algorithm this week, was Gonzaga's win over former number 15 DeMatha last week. And Gonzaga out of Washington, D.C. comes into the rankings at number 90 and drops DeMatha down 23 spots. They tumbled to number 38. But what it also did, and again, this same thing happened with Centennial beating STA, is Vieira gets pulled in out of Florida into the rankings at number 89. And you would say, well, why is that? Well, Vieira is the only team to defeat Gonzaga this year. Back on September 1st, they beat him 21-6. So that's what the algorithm does. It breaks out on-field action, and Vieira is a good team. Only lost this year to Cocoa, which is number 32 this week in Florida, or in the top 100, but they're from Florida. They climbed 3 spots this week, so Vieira lost to them in overtime. So we're really getting down to the nitty-gritty here and having some fun watching the algorithm separate out who's the best. And right now, Florida and Texas both have 14 teams in the High School Football America Top 100. Again, we have a big game tomorrow night that we're going to be at. We're going to be doing our Facebook Live from Torrance, El Camino College. There we'll have some tailgating going on. We'll be doing some neat stuff out there at the game. If you haven't been on our Facebook over the last 3 weekends, we've been doing a live scoreboard show from our studios here in Southern California. But this week we're going to go out there and give you some pregame activity, grab a couple of interviews for you. It should be fun. So tune in to us on facebook.com/High School Football America. And if you're out there and you're taking some shots or doing some stuff, make sure you tag us, and we will tweet out whatever you have. Wherever you are around the country, we like to interact with you guys, so feel free to do that. It's, again, HSFB America. That's our handle on Twitter. Again, Facebook is facebook.com/High School Football America. Now let's talk about the showdown out here in Southern California between number 1 Mater Dei and St. John Bosco. Last year, these two met twice during the regular season. Mater Dei came back in the second half to take down St. John Bosco, 26-21. And that game snapped St. John Bosco's streak of 4 straight Trinity League championships. But then come December, it was all St. John Bosco as they ended up defeating Mater Dei in the CIF Southern Section Division I championship game at Angel Stadium. That game was a blowout, and that led Bosco to go on to win the state championship a couple of weeks later in the Open Division as they took down De La Salle from the northern part of the state. But St. John Bosco hoping to get itself back on track. One interesting thing is their quarterback situation, and we're going to talk about that in just a second. But let's start with the top-ranked team. JT Daniels, the super junior quarterback, he came into the season with 100 touchdown passes in his first 2 years. He began starting as a freshman. He's already tossed 22 this year with only 1 pick. JT Daniels not always playing the full game because they've been able to blow teams out so handily, outscoring opponents coming into this one, 292 points to 91. JT Daniels, 102 out of 141. That's a 72.3% completion percentage, and JT Daniels has a lot of weapons to go to. 7 different receivers have caught touchdown passes this year. And at the beginning of the year, Amonra St. Brown, one of the top players in the country, sat out. He didn't get to play until the Bergen Catholic game, which was week 4, and he already has 16 catches for 6 touchdowns, and Nico Remigio leads the team with 27 catches with 8 touchdown receptions. So he's got a lot of weapons, and the big thing, too, is that Mater Dei can run the football, and that just makes the passing game that much better. Coming into the action on Friday night, Mater Dei has run the ball for 165 yards. That's their average per game. Jacoby Harper leading the way with 491 yards on the ground. And I'll tell you, it's one of the best teams. I think I said this a couple of weeks ago, and maybe said it last week, and may say it a lot through, depending what they do Friday night. Mater Dei is by far one of the best teams I've ever seen in my 40-plus years of covering high school football. Offensively, they're pretty much flawless. Defensively, they're young. They had to replace a lot of players, but they swarm and they hit. It's a good football club, and St. John Bosco is going to be able to bring its best. I remember last year when we had Coach Bruce Rollinson and Jason Negro on the show. Rollo, who's been around for a long time, a legendary coach, has coached people like Matt Barkley and Matt Leinert, said he loves matching wits with Jason Negro, who always does a little something in the game that makes things different. Last year in the championship game, for example, now at Ohio State, Wyatt Davis, they moved him from tackle to guard, and that made a huge difference in the victory in the CIF Division I championship game. So Rollo knows that Coach Negro is going to have something in store, and that's a good segue into the fact that last week against Orange Lutheran, the Braves used a two-headed quarterback attack. Real Mitchell, who is Iowa State bound, was going every other series with super sophomore DJ Ugalele, and he is 6'4", 240 pounds, and trust me, I'm not going to be saying his name all that much here on the show tonight because I don't want to screw it up. But anyway, DJ came, that's what we're going to call him, DJ. DJ came into the game on September 23rd against St. John's in Washington, D.C., and the Braves were down 17-7 in the fourth quarter, and Ugalele, he was able to engineer two touchdown drives that ended up giving the Braves the victory on the road in Washington, D.C. And then last week, Coach Negro decided they were going to really mess things up because, Real Mitchell is a sprinter who plays quarterback. Just such a great speed guy there. And then DJ is a strong arm guy, can toss the ball 75, 80 yards in the air, and they were rotating back and forth, and that was the key in the second half defeat of Olu last week by a score of 42-21. But earlier this week, Real Mitchell said on Twitter that he had an undisclosed injury. Yesterday, Coach Negro said that he has not been cleared to play by a medical professional. So DJ Ugalele will get his first start as a sophomore. He already has, I think he's got 10 or maybe now 11 collegiate offers. Alabama, USC. This kid's a stud. I remember seeing him last year out there as a freshman during one of the fall camps. And big kid, big boy, and he can really wing it. So he is going to get the start. No Real Mitchell. Now, of course, we can also say maybe Coach Negro's, kind of sandbagging it up here a little bit. Maybe Real will play tomorrow night. We'll have to see. We'll have that news for you when we get to the game tomorrow night. Tune in on Facebook Live at facebook.com/High School Football America. So it's going to be fun to watch this game. The only loss this year by the Braves was against St. Thomas Aquinas, 9-3 in overtime, and they had a shot to win that. And this is always a great matchup. So expect a packed house tomorrow night. It's the home game for the Braves. They are still redoing their home stadium. They said it's a blackout tomorrow night, so it should be fun. A raucous crowd, and we'll have all the live pregame and during the game and postgame for you at highschoolfootballamerica.com and live on Facebook at facebook.com/High School Football America. Well, that gives you a good taste of what's going on throughout the country. Games going on tonight. Make sure you keep up with them on our live state-by-state scoreboards powered by ScoreStream. Just go to highschoolfootballamerica.com, click on scores. You've got a live top 100 board and a state-by-state scoreboard powered by ScoreStream, which gets us to all of our partners. We'll begin with, we've already done ScoreStream, so let's go to Echo. Get instant replay on your sidelines with Echo 1612. You can get to all of our partners by clicking on their banner ads at highschoolfootballamerica.com. Coaches making instant replay for coaches. Yes, this is a great tool. There are imitators out there, make no mistake about it, but Echo 1612 was the first. It's the best. Check them out at echo1612.com. Also brought to you by Crossover, breaking down your game film better than anybody out there. It is compatible with Hudl and does a better job than Hudl Assist. You can get a free demo when you go to highschoolfootballamerica.com and click on their banner ad. That's crossover with a K, KROSSOVER.com. And also brought to you tonight by the good folks at Southern Sport, the debris inhibitor razor, keeping those pesky rubber pellets from field turf out of your shoes. They get everywhere, you know it, and they hurt too. The debris inhibitor razor keeps those away from your feet, gives you the comfort throughout the game. Players come in over 20 great colors, and if you use the special code HSFA for High School Football America, you will be able to get a special discount of 30% on your order. You will love this American-made product. It's durable, it's washable, you will not be disappointed, and you can also wear it on grass. It looks great as spatting. As I said, it keeps the pesky rubber pellets from field turf out of your shoes and gives you the great look of spatting without that high cost of tape. And brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Once again in 2017, High School Football America and USA Today High School Sports teaming up to give you great national high school football coverage, plus coverage specifically from Southern California. Check them out at USA Today HSS.com. All right, going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to head to the state of Arkansas. Lane Hatcher, I wonder if his arm's still sore. 745 yards passing, third on the all-time list in America. He tossed the ball around a lot, amassing 86 points for the Bruins, who are ranked number 67 in the High School Football America Top 100. Pulaski Academy's Lane Hatcher. When we come back, this is High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field turf rubber pellets, be gone. The debris inhibitor razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The debris inhibitor razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The debris inhibitor razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The debris inhibitor razor comes in 23 colors and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the debris inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Hudl. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover.com/football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Once again in 2017, High School Football America is teaming up with USA Today High School Sports to give you great national high school football coverage and coverage specifically here in Southern California. Check them out at usatodayhss.com. Well, if you were reading highschoolfootballamerica.com over the weekend, you saw a game that had some incredible numbers in it as Pulaski Academy out of Arkansas, number 67 in the latest High School Football America Top 100, put up some amazing numbers in an 86-56 win over Little Rock Christian, a battle of unbeatens, and the quarterback of the team, Lane Hatcher, set a state record for passing yards in a game with 745 yards, 36 of 46 with 6 touchdowns. He is, according to our count when we looked at the NFHS all-time list, third all-time in the nation. High school football's been played a long time, and Lane is number 3 on that list for passing yards, and right now he's on the line to talk about what was a big night on Friday night. Welcome to the show, Lane.
Oh, thanks for having me, Jeff. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's fun, and I joked before we started rolling tape here, is your arm sore? Let's go with a more legitimate question, which is, now that you hear those numbers in your ears, and I know you've read them several times, and there's probably been a lot of talk about it, what comes to your mind when you hear those record-setting numbers right now?
It's cool to see. It's cool to see that happening, but never the goal. Our goal is always just to play great as a team and do whatever we have to do to win. And our every game goal is to score every time we get the ball. We were pretty close to doing that. Scored 13 to 14 drives. So that's the main goal of what we had every week.
Yeah, and I think I also read from the game before, you're now at 21 out of 22 possessions, and we'll get to some of the things that are a little unorthodox that maybe the listeners don't know about out there, about not punting and onside kicks and all that. But tell us a little bit about the game plan going into that. Like you said, the idea is to get into the end zone. That's the thing. But, I mean, at what point did it click on Friday night that, oh, my gosh, these yards are coming at a fever pitch?
Right. We weren't sure what they were going to do to us defensively, so during the week we prepared for a couple different things, and they came out with something that we hadn't seen before. They were only rushing 3 guys most of the time and dropping 8 back in coverage. So first half we were running the ball a lot. I think we ran for 200 yards, I think, in the game, which is a lot, and I think we broke our school record for the most runs in a game. So once we saw that, we didn't think we were going to be throwing it absolute time. We thought we were going to rely on run game good bits. They weren't attacking that, and they were trying to make us run the ball. So we were going to do our best to run the ball.
745 yards later, Lane Hatcher is on High School Football America tonight talking about what was an incredible 86-56 win over Little Rock Christian, number 67, as I said, in the High School Football America Top 100, 3-time defending state champs in Arkansas. It's just a great program there. And let's kind of take the listeners into the kind of the sideline conversation with your receivers. I know that one of them had over 325 yards receiving, a touchdown. Tell me a little bit about what you guys were talking about as all this was going on, and tell me a little bit about the receivers by name so the listeners can know it was more than just you tossing the football.
Right. I've got probably six great receivers right now. I think we've got 4 seniors right now starting at receiver, 3 juniors and a junior, and we rotate some other guys in. But they all know the system so well. Trey Johnson is the receiver that went for over 300 yards, but Matt Lynch had a couple touchdowns. Nathan Bione scored a 91-yard touchdown. So those guys just know what they're doing so well now that it makes it so much easier on me. They bailed me out of a lot of trouble just seeing the field so much better now that they're older and wiser and know what's going on. So it's great having a group of guys like that around you that you know are going to be where they're supposed to be at all times.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're talking to Lane Hatcher tonight from Pulaski Academy in Arkansas, a record-setting night in the state, and almost got the national record with 745 yards passing. And I'd be remiss if I didn't talk about those big guys up front, because you said you were able to run the ball early in the game and obviously giving you the protection. So let's give those guys a little props, because they're the ones that allow you to do that.
Right. My own lines, we've got SEC committed left tackle. We've got a kid going to Air Force at center, Alan Miller and Luke Jones. And then we've got another senior with guard for me, Ford Aguilar. He's a great guy. He's a little bit undersized. He's smart, and he knows what he's doing, so he takes care of his job. And we got 2 new guys on the right side, right tackle. And they're doing great, and they're doing a great job. This is what Coach Kelly thinks is one of the best lines in school history. I agree with them wholeheartedly. These guys, if you watch the film, I mean, there were places where I stood back there for 10 seconds and didn't have anybody even close to me. They did a great job in running the ball. They were really excited that they got to do some run blocking more than some pass blocking this week, I think. And they were extremely excited to get to run downfield and knock some guys in their back.
Kevin Kelly, the head coach of Pulaski Academy, who Lane Hatcher just mentioned there, has gotten a lot of national attention because of not punting and onside kicks after scores and all that. What's it like to play in a system like that and know that, you know, little tiny Pulaski is getting all this publicity around the nation? I mean, I think I've seen you on just about every show out there or written about and all that. What's it like to play for that? And tell a little bit to the listeners about the tradition you guys have there. I mean, it's not a gimmick. You guys win state championships, like I said, 3 in a row to this point.
Yes, sir. You know, I've been in it my whole life. I've gone to PA since I was 3 years old, so it's all I've known. It's weird to me that people don't not punt. It's weird to me that people do punt and that they kick it deep. I don't get it. I don't understand it, and so it's really cool to see the tradition and culture we have here. We expect to win, and every Friday it's a great show to come out to PA on Friday nights in Little Rock, Arkansas, because, I mean, it's exciting. It's fun to watch. It's never boring. And it's going to be exciting. You're going to be jumping out of your seat quite a bit. And it's a culture of just winning and doing things different, as long as it's smart. If it got up, we're going to do it.
And I would assume it's pretty tight. Like, you know, you said you've been there since, you know, you were a young kid and all that. I would assume a lot of you guys have come up together, right? So it's a pretty tight situation on the team?
Right. More than a majority of the team has been here since probably first, second grade. A lot of us have grown up together, and it's great to see us all getting bigger opportunities and winning. And that's the main thing for us. We just want to win. We just want to win football games, no matter how it comes. And it's cool to see us from being little kids now. Everybody's looking up to us as the older guys, and it's awesome to see the success show.
Talking with Lane Hatcher, the quarterback of Pulaski Academy in Arkansas. 36 of 46, 6 touchdowns, 745 yards, third all-time on the high school football list in America records. Matt Miller of DuBois holds the record. You just missed that. That's 787 yards. What was it like afterwards with family and just your teammates and all that? What was that celebration? Did you do anything special afterwards, or was it just like, let's get ready for next week? Start getting ready for next week.
Yeah. It was a big rivalry game, so that was more of the celebration. It's a big crosstown rival, but the statistics, no, that wasn't a celebration. We were just happy that we win. That's our only goal. We're never looking at numbers. But it was cool to see my name up there with some of those people, but really it was, all right, let's go. We got another game to play. It's on the next week. We got to refocus.
And because of the tradition that you guys have there in the state championships and what Coach Kelly has brought upon you, I mean, do you guys kind of always feel like when you're going into the games there's a bullet, a bullseye on you that there's everybody wants to beat you guys? I mean, is that the feeling you kind of get?
Exactly. We talk about that all the time, probably a couple of times a week. We know we're going to get everybody's best bet when they come to play us because they know PA is the team to beat. And with such a great group of guys here, it's true. People, if we have a bad night, it's going to be against somebody else's best night. And that's what we always talk about. They're always coming to us with everything they got because they know if they can beat PA, then that's a great accomplishment for them.
Yeah, you guys are number 67 in the High School Football America Top 100 right now, and obviously state championship's important, getting through the regular season healthy and all that. But what are some of the things you, as one of the leaders on this team, talking about, the things that you need to do, coming down the stretch, getting ready for the postseason, to know that you're ready to defend that title?
Right. We've been there before, so we know what it takes. So we've kind of got an idea of where we need to be each week, and each time we've got great coaches that are going to get us there mentally. It's just executing their game plan. The coaches, they're going to get us the best game plan in the country without a doubt. It's just a matter of us executing what they put in front of us. And if we can do that, we'll be just fine.
Well, congratulations on what was an incredible night, not only for you, but your teammates. Like I said, you can't do it without somebody catching the ball or blocking for you. So congratulations on that. Continued success throughout the year, and look forward to seeing how high you can climb in our top 100. Good luck next week and with the rest of the season. Thanks for joining us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Very welcome. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, you'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field Turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors, and sizes are youth, medium, large, And for that extra Bigfoot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the debris inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover with a K.com/football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Once again in 2017, High School Football America and USA Today High School Sports teaming up to give you great national high school football coverage and coverage specifically from Southern California. Check them out at usatodayhss.com. Well, longtime listeners of this show know I say this every time I go back to the home state. You can take the boy out of Pennsylvania, but not Pennsylvania out of the boy. There's a great story going on in the middle part of the country there at Harrisburg High. The Cougars up to number 80 in the High School Football America Top 100. They got into the Top 100 early in the season, and they've been there, and they're not going anywhere, having outscored their opponents 300-26. They've got one of the best players in the country, but they've got more depth than just Micah Parsons, and Cal Everett, who's in his 7th year with the Cougars, has built this team in a lot of great ways, and they are now ready to try and one-up what they did last year, which was a state runner-up, losing to Archbishop Wood in the state championship game, and Coach Everett's on the line right now to talk about all the great things going on there in Pennsylvania. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Thank you for having me on the show.
That's great to have you on here. Like I said, been watching from afar, but know exactly what you've done. And I think I'm going to dial it back a little bit to when you took over for Coach Chomp, George Chomp, the legendary coach that had a couple of stints there at Harrisburg and obviously coached at the collegiate level. But I know that first year wasn't great for you. A 1-9 start. You were a young coach at that time. I think you were 32. Can you take me back to then and kind of say what you did to set your foundation that has you where you guys are right now, 7 years later?
Oh, that first year it was a rough year, but I had to sort of lay the groundwork, and let everyone know that I'm the new head coach now, and things are going to be done a little differently. Not to say that things weren't done the right way before then, but I just had to lay the foundation down, and it was tough at first, but eventually, I started to get some buy-in, and here we are now, 7 years later.
Yeah, you're doing a great thing, number 80 in the High School Football America Top 100, Harrisburg High in Pennsylvania. I mentioned Coach Chomp, and obviously you coached under him, and I know he was a big champion of you. What did you learn from him that kind of helped you make that adjustment? Because it's a big leap from going from an assistant coach to the HC.
Oh, absolutely. Coach Chomp, he did so much for my coaching career. He's the one that, just called me up fresh out of college and, offered me a coaching position. And from that point on, he's just been a great mentor to me. And to this day, I still call him and I get advice from him. And, he's just a great man, great coach.
Harrisburg Cougars 6-0 right now at this point, playing great football. And let's kind of dive into, this season. But again, I'm going to dial it back a little bit. You guys, made what I think a lot of people thought was a surprising run to the state championship game last year. Certainly not coming out the way you had hoped to. What part of last year's end has played a role in this year's start? Meaning, is that something you talked about? Like, hey, we're not going to let that happen. Let's go to the next step. Or how did you kind of use those words?
It was, last year was sort of, I don't know if you want to say like our breakout. We finally got a taste of it. We know how it feels. We know how it looks. So, we try to take some positives out of, that game last year in the state championship finals. But that was the biggest thing. I know, it left a sort of a bitter taste in a lot of our mouths, and we're just trying to, get back there and end up on the opposite end this time.
Gal Everett on the line from Harrisburg High School in Pennsylvania, number 80 right now in the High School Football America Top 100. A lot of spotlight there because of your top player, but you've got more than Micah Parsons. But I guess that's where we'll start, and then we'll get some of the other kids in here. Micah, I think last time I looked, number 5 overall recruit in the country. He's playing both ways for you. That's the thing that kind of surprises me. But before we get into that, let's talk about, your analysis. How good is Micah? What's his upside? And how does he fit into this team and help you be where you are right now?
Oh, Micah. I mean, honestly, sky's the limit for that young man. I've never seen a kid as athletic and as talented as Micah is. There's literally almost, I don't think there's anything that he cannot do on the football field. I mean, he does so much for our football team now, I can't even put it to you in words.
Right now, just give a couple of stats to the listeners out there. I think I saw at last look on Max Preps, 11.5 tackles for loss, 7.5 sacks. And then we go to the offense where he's got 16 touchdowns, 9.2 yards per carry. In a day and age of specialization in football where, guys are not going both ways, what's your take on Micah doing that? How do you utilize him and keep him fresh on both sides of the ball?
Well, we make sure, on offense, we give him, we have a really, really talented young running back in back of him named Jameer Plant, and we make sure Jameer gets a lot of work in and he gives him a lot of blows. So, we do a good job, subbing him and Micah in and out on offense. And then on defense, he knows, that's his thing, defense. But, one thing that a lot of people need to know and understand is that Micah, he's not even playing a lot of times the second half of games. So those numbers, 16 touchdowns and how many ever yards, like he's not even playing, the second half of games. He's playing 1-2 quarters of a football game. But the biggest thing is we just try to control his minutes and because we have a lot of other talented young men, that can step right in and, just keep him fresh.
Yeah, you guys have rolled in a lot of your games, and I know probably as a coach you're looking at, when you get into the postseason, you're not going to have those, big blowout victories, so you got to get those guys in shape. Let's talk about some of the other players, and let's stay on offense. I know I've read about your quarterback, Ymir Wilkerson, who's, had a fine career there. You've got a great receiver in Shaquan Anderson, Butts, Penn State commit. Tell the people a little bit about your skill players there, because they've done some great things on offense this year.
Oh, my skill players, they are phenomenal. I've never had a group of skill players, like this. I mean, they are top notch, and it starts with it goes down from Micah to Shaquan Anderson Butts, who's an Under Armour. He's really playing Under Armour game. He's a Penn State commit. He plays wide receiver for us, and this year he's playing defense. He's playing outside linebacker, strong safety, and he is playing phenomenally on offense and defense. Then go to our quarterback, Ymir Wilkerson. He's a 3-year starter now. He's just, he operates our offense, and, he just does a great job making sure guys are where they're supposed to be, getting lined up, and just controlling the pace of everything. Then from there, we have Ronald Kent, who right now is a Delaware State commit. He was just recently offered by James Madison University. He's also one of the fastest sprinters in the state of Pennsylvania. He ran a 10.7. Back in the state finals. Then I have Donnell Henriquez, who has I think 11 or 12 offers, a lot of FCS schools. He plays defensive back and wide receiver for me. Who else we have? We have Jameer Plant, who I think is the next up-and-coming running back in the state of Pennsylvania. He's a sophomore right now. He spent significant time last year as a freshman, and he's doing a great job this year as a sophomore. I just see him continue to develop. I have a guy, a first-year football player on my team now, wide receiver, who's starting, just came out of nowhere. That's really opening my eyes and a lot of eyes within our conference, named Nareef Quinn. He's 6'2", about 180 pounds, but he has hands out of this world. I have another 2019 guy, Rynell Gant, who's starting to get a lot of FBS attention. He hasn't received an offer yet, but he's our starting free safety, and he plays in the slot for us as well. He does multiple things. Who else?
Yeah,
we just have so many talented guys.
You do. You've got some. And what I'm not going. We don't want to get misses any kids at all. But I'm a guy that and people that have been on the show, you've never been on it before. What they love about me is I don't forget about those guys up front because everybody's looking at those skill guys. They can throw it, can catch it, can run. But I think I read in your win last week, which was impressive against Chambersburg. You scored over 80 points in that victory. I think it was 82-3. You didn't have two of your offensive linemen, so evidently you've got some talent up front. Let's get the big guys' names in there.
Oh, absolutely. Starting right tackle, he's a 3-year starter. Deontay Payne, I mean, he's just phenomenal. 2 weeks ago, he was our offensive MVP just on the offensive line. And he's sort of undersized. He'll probably be playing defense at the next level. He plays linebacker for me, but he's a 3-year starter. He plays offensive line. He does a great job. Next to him, we have Fernando Genoa, who's a 2-year starter now, and he put on about 30, 40 pounds this year in the offseason, got bigger and stronger. He's doing a great job. At center, I have Corey Jett, who, it's his first year playing center, but, he's 5'10", 300 pounds, and he's doing a phenomenal job with snapping and just, controlling the line of scrimmage up front. I have 2-year starter Jeffrey Chisholm at left guard. He's doing a phenomenal job as well. And at left tackle, I have a big guy. He's about 6'3", 6'4", 340 pounds. This is only his second year playing football, and man, is he doing a great job. I mean, his name is Tyre Butler. He is doing a great job. Now, to piggyback off of last week, we had two guys out. We had Jeffrey Chisholm out and Tyre Butler starting out with some minor knee injuries, but they'll be back this week. But I had Javon Mansfield plug in for those guys, and he did a great job at guard. Then I had a freshman, about 6'4", 270-pound freshman get in. I mean, that kid, he didn't miss a beat. His name is Lane Brandon. So, I have some depth there, and, it just makes us that much stronger.
It makes you look that much more intelligent, too, doesn't it? Cal Everett.
Absolutely. There's another guy I want to make sure I mention, too. We have a linebacker named Andre White. He's about 6'3", 225 pounds. He's already received offers from Rutgers and Temple, and man, is he a ball player. He plays tight end and middle linebacker for us.
Well, that's a good segue. We're talking with Cal Everett, Harrisburg High's coach right now, number 80 in the High School Football America Top 100. Let's flip it over to the other side. I'm sure Micah takes a lot of attention up, which helps you out with the other guys and all that. You can kind of just blow in there on people. Only 26 points allowed this year. So let's go on that defensive side and get some of the kids in there that you're really liking, not only on-field performance but leadership.
Oh man, defensively, I have so many great guys on the defensive side of the ball, and just for the note of it, we've only given up one touchdown with our first group so far. One touchdown, 7 points with the first defense. But obviously it starts up front with Micah at defensive end, and then we have Deontay Nichols, who's a first-year football player playing defensive end, and Carmani Williams playing defensive end as well. And then inside we have Deshaun Grady, who's 6'2", 315 pounds. And we had Jeffrey Chisholm also playing defensive tackle. And then our linebackers is Deontay Payne, who also doubles up at offensive tackle, and Andre White, who also plays tight end. They're controlling the middle. And then our two outside linebackers are Jai Burney. I mean, he does a phenomenal job. Not a very tall kid, but man, is he tough and physical. And our other outside linebacker / strong safety is Shaquan Anderson-Butts, who's also our receiver and Penn State commit. And then on the back end, I have Ronald Kent, who's already mentioned he's one of the fastest guys in the state playing corner. And my other corner is Daniel Henriquez, who also has, he has double-digit offers. And my free safety is Ryan Gant, who also plays receiver.
Cal Everett on the line, Harrisburg High School, one of the best in the country, not only one of the best in the state of Pennsylvania, and really come back, a great traditional program that you've helped bring back. And I read, and I still call it the Patriot News. I know online it's like PennLive.com or whatever the heck it is. But my point, you can tell I'm from Pennsylvania. I'm not making this up.
Absolutely.
But what I was going to say is there was I think it was Wilkerson gave a main part of the interview. It was before the season started, and he was talking about what you've done not only with the players but the coaching staff. And I don't want to leave this interview without having you kind of talk about building that staff, your coaches, and what they've done to get you guys to this point. Because certainly you're getting the interviews. Everybody says it's head coach Cal Everett, but at the end of the day, there's more to it than that. So tell me a little bit about how you did build the staff and some of those guys that are doing it for you day in and day out.
The biggest thing that I had to do, a couple of years ago, we went through a very, very difficult time one season. And, I tried to do some soul searching. I had to look in the mirror and, start with me. And then from that point on, I had to, I had to look at the guys that were around me, and once I did that, I was able to, move on from some guys and bring in some other guys that I thought were, more conducive to our program moving forward. And what I was able to do was get guys that, they're just not great coaches, but they love our kids. They love our program. They want our program to succeed in the worst way. They do all the small things, all the little things, to help our kids out, to help our program succeed. So that was the biggest thing. Just surround our kids with a bunch of great guys that care about them. Not just, on the football field and coaching, but they care about them outside, their home lives and things of that nature. So that's what I think was probably one of the biggest things that I've done the last couple of years.
And let's get some of those guys in there by name, whether you're OC, DC, and some of those guys. Because again, we try to tell stories here, and that's what I said. You get it's your voice everybody's hearing, but I'd like to get some of those names in, just like the kids. So who are some of those guys, so they can smile when they listen to this interview?
My offensive coordinator, Tim Boblick, he's been with me now 6 years, and he does a great job. Very innovative guy. He's always on top of everything. Just does a great job for me. My defensive coordinator is Jesse Haar. He's also been with me for 5 years or so now. He does a great job. He's also our strength and conditioning coach. He's our rah-rah guy, but he does a great job. He cares a lot about our kids. He's never misses a day. He's here every single day in off season. Every single day, does not miss a day. Then I have George Brown, who's our wide receiver coach. Once again, cares so much about our kids. Our coaches, George, they take our kids on college visits, out of state, everywhere. And, don't ask for a penny. They just do it out the kindness of their heart. Another coach I have is Juwan Chisholm, who was actually a young man that just graduated from Akron University 2 years ago. And he was a young man that I first coached. My first year coaching, I coached him, and I coached him for 3 years. So, that right there, that means a lot to me, to be able to, send him off to school as his position coach and then, bring him back. He had a stint with the Steelers. Things didn't work out his way. So, he came back home and I immediately called him up and asked him to come on board and help out. He was a little hesitant. Once he to it last season, there's no turning back now. And, that's what I love about coaching right there, just to have him on my staff, someone that I, was able to coach, and now he's able to do the same thing and give back to the kids the same way I did. Also have Richard Maldrew, who's our offensive line coach. He does a phenomenal job. Young guy, graduated from Richmond. It's my second year. He's one of the guys that I brought in just 2 years ago. I brought Rich and Juwan in 2 years ago, and those two additions have been great. I just recently brought in a guy named Ben Mayer, who's he used to coach at Williamsport. He's from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Mm-hmm. He played ball down at Florida State for a little while, then Temple University. And I brought another young guy this year named Rich Rossi, who just graduated from Sacred Heart last year. Does a great job running our special teams. And Ben coaches our defensive line now. And I also have Sean Lee. Sean Lee's a Harrisburg guy. He played here at Harrisburg, and he went to Penn State, was a 3-year starter at Penn State University, played strong safety for him, and now he's here. He's been coaching our DBs for the last 6-7 years now, and he does a great job. And who am I missing here? Oh, my freshman coaches. Kevin Butts does a great job running our freshman program, and he helps out the varsity as much as possible, as well as Deontay Payne Sr., also freshman coach, but helps out the program, does a great job. So I think that pretty much sums up my coaching staff, and they're, put the coaches to the side, just great men, and they're great for our kids. That's the most important thing right there.
And that's great to hear, and that's one of the reasons you guys are so successful. We're talking Harrisburg Cougar football tonight. Cal Everett, the head coach, their 7th year, number 80 in the High School Football America Top 100. We're going to wrap up here with a couple of questions. And I mentioned it earlier, Coach Chomp and all that, tradition there at Harrisburg High. And, it had left for a little bit there, and you are part of bringing it back. What's it like? What's the fan base like? What's the feeling in the community on campus? I've got to believe it's got to be one of excitement.
Oh, it's great. When when the program was going through the tough time, it wasn't as fun. But now, man, once we're doing well, and the community, they rally behind us. I mean, you hear nothing but great things. The kids, they just seeing things that people constantly post on social media, all the positive, getting the opportunity to meet people from, back when the program was really at its peak. They're coming back, and, it's just great. It's a great feeling. It's great to be a part of Harrisburg right now.
Yeah, I bet it is. Cal Everett on the line. 2 questions before I let you go. I mentioned this earlier. You guys have had such a great run offensively, defensively, shutting people down. You haven't had kids, like you said, playing more than, 1 or 2 quarters, maybe into the start of the second half. Conditioning game-wise, is that a concern? And if it is or isn't, I mean, how do you kind of work around that to get ready for the postseason when you are going to have to go 48?
That is something that, that's in the back of my mind at times. But I do know one thing, we practice hard. We condition hard. Every practice is like a game. So I think that will help us out a little bit. But I know you can't simulate game,
right?
Game speed, game conditioning. But, we just try to practice them really hard during practice just to try to, make sure that they're at least conditioned to some point. But that is something that I keep in the back of my head. So that is a concern for me.
And then, just as we go away here, you want to change that silver last year for a gold this year. What are the things you want to see this team do down the stretch here in the regular season to know that they're ready to go after, something in a deep run into the postseason? What are the things you want to see fixed right now? Not that you've had a whole lot go wrong, but what are those things you want to check off to make sure they're ready?
Well, the biggest thing is, we just need to focus on the small things. It's not our talent. It's not our ability. It's just the small things, penalties and things like that. And most importantly, we have to put people out. Every day needs to be, it needs to be a business approach. Every game, it's business. We need to go out there, take care of our business. That needs to be our mindset. But I think one of the small things that, have traditionally plagued us is penalties, and that's, on the mental side of it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we can work on that. I think, we're setting ourselves up to be in pretty good shape.
Well, Coach, we really appreciate you taking time out of your schedule. A busy guy there. You're also the athletic director to kind of shine a light on what you guys are doing there, your kids and your coaches, and just appreciate your time and continued success this year. And hopefully, like I said, you get to change that silver for a gold. Thanks for joining us tonight.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Take care. Thanks for having me.
Very welcome. Taking a break, coming back with more. This is High School Football America. Instant replays on a high school football sideline? Seriously? Yes, the future is here with Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System. Echo's cutting-edge technology was the first to the market 2 years ago. Echo delivers instant replay to your sideline on an iPad within seconds of a play being finished so that you can make tomorrow's coaching changes today. This NFHS-approved product may be the biggest change in high school football since the invention of the helmet. Coaches, You'll gain a competitive edge by adding Echo 1612's Instant Replay Sideline System to your coaching toolbox. How cool is this? The Echo Instant Replay Sideline System works with both your current booth and end zone cameras, plus, and this is an important point, Echo works without any cellular connection, data plans, or internet. The list of high school football programs using Echo 1612 system is growing daily, meaning your opponent may already have a game time advantage. You don't want to be left out, do you? The Echo 1612 advantage is simple. Echo plus an iPad equals instant replay on your sideline that improves your game planning. Seriously, you'll be making coaching adjustments in real time, not the day after. Except no copycats, Echo 1612 is the best on the market. Echo 1612's cutting-edge technology helps you make tomorrow's adjustments today. Learn more at echo1612.com. Field Turf rubber pellets, be gone. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing surfaces out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and locker rooms. The Razor, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is favored by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have the time to tape only for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in the house. The Debris Inhibitor Razor is made in America. It's 70% nylon and 30% spandex, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razor covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable, machine washable, and more importantly, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razor comes in 23 colors and sizes are youth, medium, large, and for that extra big foot, extra large. Founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III, Southern Sport Inc. created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes, allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Get a discount on your order by using the High School Football America code HSFA when you order at TDIRazor.com. That's razor spelled with a U at TDIRazor.com. If you're scouting your opponents without Crossover's game film breakdown platform, you're missing an opportunity to get a huge edge over the competition. Crossover's service lets you upload game film from your hard drive, video camera, or other websites like Huddle. Their team of football experts will then clip and tag the game with player and formation info so that when you log into your account, you can filter the clips however you'd like. They'll also automatically prepare a comprehensive tendency report and down and distance report for your staff so you can see exactly what your opponents like to call in specific situations. We all know that every coach spends countless hours preparing before a game. It's not about the time you put in, it's about what you do with that time. That's Crossover's biggest advantage. It allows you to use your prep time more efficiently and get an even deeper level of insight since you don't have to waste time setting up the film. Check them out. You're going to love them. You can sign up for a quick free demo at crossover.com/football. That's crossover.com/football. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by USA Today High School Sports. Once again in 2017, High School Football America and USA Today High School Sports teaming up to give you great national high school football coverage and coverage specifically from Southern California. Check them out at usatoday.hss.com. Well, as we promised at the top of the show, we're going to wrap things up here going to West Texas tonight. And a couple of buddies out there hit me up yesterday and said, you know what, can we get on the show here and talk about what high school football is all about when it comes to the coaching fraternity? And I thought, why not? We've got Jason Strunk, the author of the Turnaround blog on High School Football America. He's the head coach, as you all know, at Lubbock High School. And this week they play a district game as they will take on Lubbock Cooper, coached by Max Catwinkle. And he's been on the show by himself. But I decided to get these two guys on because Strunky's been writing about this for a couple of years. years, how he and Coach Catwinkle have been really doing some interesting things where they've both spoken in each other's locker rooms and talked about various things that you don't necessarily have opponents doing all the time, and they're both on the line here to talk about their big game coming up and just kind of the coaching fraternity that those guys have out there in West Texas in Lubbock. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks, Jeff. Appreciate you having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, and like I said, Strunky, you kind of got it all started here, and I think I'll let you take the lead on the question here. But again, we do have a football game that we're going to discuss and all that, but I really want to kind of focus on what you've been writing about on the blog as it relates to your relationship with Cat there, and the fact that you've spoken to his players in his locker room as an opposing coach. Tell me about the relationship and how all this kind of got started.
Well, I got out here in 2011, and at that time, John Wyndham was the head coach out there at Cooper, and Cat took over a few years later. And from the moment Cat took over, we just kind of clicked and became good friends, and just let the relationship build over the years to where we're at now. And it's an awesome thing. It's one of the reasons I got into coaching high school football. It's about the kids and building relationships with other coaches that are in it for the same reason you are, and that's helping kids. And a few times, like going back a few years ago, Cat invited me over to speak to his team at a playoff dinner the night before the playoff game. And we've been kind of doing something together each year since then. Last year, he came over the week after we played them last year. He came over. We needed a kick in the rear end to wake us up again. And the week after they beat us, he came over and talked to our kids and showed some plays of our game against Cooper, and how much we've improved and some good things we've done. We went out and beat Lakeview the next day. So that's the kind of relationship we have. It's really neat, and I returned the favor, went out and spoke a couple times last year. So it's really neat. Yeah, I think Cat and I are in it for the right reasons. That's why we've clicked, and that's why we have the friendship we have.
Yeah, it's very different. Max, from your perspective, I mean, what kind of came to your mind when you said, hey, this might be a good idea?
Just kind of the same thing Jason was talking about. You recognize the guys that you work around and work with, the guys that care about the kids, and Jason's definitely one of those. Saw that immediately, and all the things that he does to not only help his kids on the field but also off the field, and you got to respect that. And one of the things when I talked to his team that day, one of the things I walked out of that locker room and that facility was that was the most respectful and good group of kids that I have ever spoken to. And, that comes from the top, and that comes from Jason. And, definitely just want to associate with people like that.
Talking to Max Catwinkle, head coach at Lubbock Cooper in West Texas, along with Jason Strunk, author of the blog, The Turnaround, head coach at Lubbock High School. They're going head-to-head on the field this week, so I guess I'll stick with you, Max. And you guys do have this good friendship, but somebody wants a W this week. Do you guys treat it a little bit differently? Do you hang up on him if he calls or ignore his text or anything like that?
No, definitely not. Every coach is competitive, and you want to win, but you also, it's more about it's more than the wins, and you've got to win to keep your job, obviously, and you do your best to prepare, but you treat it like any other game. You're going to do your best to try to win with the X's and O's, but what makes this one just a little bit more special, you got a team, you're playing a team that plays the game the right way. It's a bunch of mutual respect, not only between coaching staffs, but the kids on the field. Their team, they play the game the right way. They hit you hard, and they help you up, and it's on to the next play, and they're going to come hard every play. And so it's a lot of fun. No, it's no different. We don't ignore each other during this week. And matter of fact, our families had dinner together this last Saturday night, so it's a fun week to prepare for.
Yeah, and Strunky mentioned that in the blog that he wrote the other day. So Strunky, tell me a little bit about that. I mean, it extends beyond the coaching staffs and the players going head to head. I mean, what do you guys talk about? Maybe I should be talking to Tracy, your wife, about what you all talked about at dinner the other night. But breaking bread together, that's a little different too. This is one big happy family. It's all in the family without Archie Bunker.
Yeah, couldn't handle Archie today. Couldn't happen. It's one of those things where it just so happens that our bye weeks line up to each other. We're both off at the same time, and it's hard to get away, when you're not on a bye week. So our bye weeks line up, and it was one of those things we talked about earlier, because we always get together before the season, and then we go through the season, and this year we say, well, let's do dinner over the bye week, and that's what we did. And went to a local place here and had some good pizza. And Jeff, I'm going to tell you, it's the kind of pizza that you find on the East Coast. It's the closest thing to it. So that was good. It was fun. It's a great spot. And to tell you the truth, we very rarely talked about football. So, I mean, talked about some other things, other things going on in life, and that's nice. It's a good escape. And, we're playing each other, but I didn't even think about it that night. I won't even think about it until tomorrow. It's just one of those things where I show up, and I'm always more loose before the games than Cat. Cat's tense. I'm always a little looser, so I get him wound up before the game. Then we go to the locker room, we come out, and we just play the game, and it's a lot of fun. Like Cat said, the mutual respect between both teams makes it fun. It's a fun week. I really enjoy playing Lubbock Cooper. They do it the right way. It's good for our communities too. I was talking, I texted his offensive coordinator yesterday and wished him good luck, and so it was good seeing you yesterday at a meeting we were at, and he said, hey, I'm looking forward to tomorrow night. It's always good to go against a guy that does it the right way. So that means a lot to me. Our staffs have mutual respect. It's just a good thing out here. And I think the way we do things, kids can really see this and learn more from this than they can any win they get on the field. They're really seeing how life works, relationships you build, and people looking to help each other out.
No, well said. Talking with Max Catwinkle, head coach at Lubbock Cooper in West Texas, and Jason Strunk of Lubbock High. They're going at it in a district game this week. And Cat, maybe we can build off of that. One of the things that I've discovered, and obviously Strunky's a transplant there. We're both from Pennsylvania. But in my time there with you guys, sometimes with you and some of your colleagues, it's always impressed me. And I try to tell this to a lot of the coaches around the country. While the profession, the fraternity is great, it's strong, Texas just does it a little bit differently. And I'm not talking about the big stadiums and the big crowds. I'm just talking about the way coaches are treated and the profession and the way you guys handle yourselves. Maybe it would be good because we have so many coaches that listen here, just to talk about your experience and the way you feel and the way you approach your job as a leader of young men there and a high school football coach. Is there a way to put that into words for them?
Well, I just think you've got to model the behavior that, hopefully that you want them to carry with them and as going into adulthood. And, that's the thing, Strunky and I come from such different backgrounds, and that's the beauty of it. That's the beauty of our country. Everybody's coming from different situations. Everybody has different beliefs and that's the beauty of it. That's one of the things that has drawn us together, just our different backgrounds. And I'm very respectful of where, he came from and how he grew up. And, it's just, if you can show your kids that, that, man, those are things that they can take with them in life. And that's really, I think our society needs a dose of that, respect other people's opinions and, even if they're different from you, and we all have things in common. So I just think those are good teaching points. And, I think our society needs more of that.
Yeah, I couldn't say it any better than you did. Strunky, I know you've talked about it on the show before and written about it. You know what it's like to get there. This was one of your goals, to get to Texas, and you brag about not being there, but you brag about the way Texas does it right when it comes to the sport, whether it's the sport itself or the coaching profession and all that. So maybe since it's been a while since you talked about that, what were some of the things, and it probably ties into your meeting Cat, what were some of the things that were different to you, having coached in Pennsylvania or Purdue or high school in Florida?
Right. Yeah, when you're talking comparing high school to high school from different states to Texas, it's a lot different. And we had a meeting yesterday with our UIL director over at Plains Capital Park, Susan Elza. And one of the things she said when she was talking to us, she said, this is the greatest football state in the United States with the best coaches. And she said, why? She said, why we're the best coaches? And the reason is because we're a professional organization. Every coach in that room is a certified teacher, and we've been certified to coach. And And she laid it all out as to what makes Texas so good and why we're the best. And I really believe that from a professional organizational standpoint, nobody comes close to the way Texas does it. It's phenomenal. And I think I have a better understanding of it and a great perspective on it because I've coached in different states as compared to guys who haven't coached in other states. They have it great here. Mm-hmm. I mean, I can't say that enough because I've seen what it's done. I mean, I was a head coach at a 5A school in Florida. I was teaching 6 periods a day of honors history out of the 8-period school day, as a head coach. That doesn't happen here in Texas. It's done the right way. It's set up the right way. And like Kat was saying, coming out here, my background's so different than everybody else out here, really. And like Kat said, it's what makes our world great. Different personalities, different upbringings, different backgrounds. The experiences I've been through in life, I've shared with his team, and then vice versa. I think it's really neat to get out here and talk to different coaches from the various backgrounds, because I'm not from West Texas. And the one thing, Fish, from the time I set foot out here, I've been real respectful about Texas high school football.
Yep.
Not stepping on toes, not going out of my way. I mean, I'm honored to be here, and I'm going to sit down, I'm going to listen to people, I'm going to respect people, and that's what I've done. I've learned from guys like Kat. I've taken that, and because I have to do it the right way. I'm an outsider. I just can't come in here and ruffle feathers and do all that stuff. So I kind of sit back and learn from a lot of people, and Kat's one of those guys I look to, and he's helped me out tremendously here.
Great chat tonight with Jason Strunk and Max Katwinkle. They're going to go head-to-head coming up here in a day. And go back to you, Max. Strunky, we can all joke a little bit. Strunky's a bit odd. I mean, when he comes out to Laguna Beach, I got to prepare the council to, this guy from wherever he is coming in here. So with that as the lead joke on the question, he said, you're a little bit more wound up, and he's trying to get you wound up and all that. What does he do to you before the game? Does he come over with a joke, a bad line, just get under your skin? What's he trying to do to you?
Oh, it's usually something different every year. We kid around. And, I told them we were going to run the wishbone last year. And, we've been working on that.
Yep.
But it's just I don't know that I'm more wound up than him. It's just our personalities are different. But we always have a good time before the game and joke around, and it's good fun.
So going into it then, Strunky, we'll wrap up with a couple of questions here. Because you know each other so well, do you try and sandbag? Would you ever go to the wishbone just to mess with him? How do you go at a good guy that you know pretty well? Give away the game plan right now. Give it away. Give the first 10 plays.
I may line our kids up in formation on the field and take a picture and say new offense installed this week and put it on Twitter. I mean, I may do that, just jacking around, but no, I wouldn't do that. He knows what we're going to do. We're going to go over there and we're going to play hard and do our thing. And usually what I do, and since the three of us are on the line, I mean, you can only imagine the amount of Seinfeld one-liners we throw at each other. So I'm sure I'll get over there tonight and call him Banya or something, or talk about an Armani suit and Mendy's. Who knows? It'll be something fun to kick the game off. And yesterday they told me they're rotating 8 quarterbacks this week at lunch. So it's like, wow, man, 8. So they're trying to get wound up. It's good. It's fun.
Great
You're
stuff.
going to rotate all 8.
Hey, you never know. Never know.
So you see, it's a lot of fun. It's fun.
Yeah, no, it is. And before we go, obviously, Strunky's been on the show before, but Max, we've had a lot of fun talking about relationships, but you know me on the show here. I want to try and, prop up the kids a little bit here with some names in that. I know you're 4-1 going into it. Tell me a little bit about this team this year. Describe it to me, to the listeners as well, and some of the kids that you're proud of that are doing it on the field, whether it's, how they're playing or just leadership-wise.
Well, we're just we're kind of a young team. We graduated a bunch last year, and got some young guys filling in and kind of going through the ropes right now and learning how to play under the lights on Friday night. And that's been kind of a stressful thing as a coach, but it's also a fun thing to see them grow up a little bit. We have some good leadership with Elijah Boyd, our running back, coming back, and on the defensive side, Jake Kirkpatrick is a good leader for us, and those are good kids that have played before, and proud of them, and proud of the young guys stepping in and filling some big roles that from guys that have gone on.
Talking with Max Catwinkle and Jason Strunk here, and we'll give Strunky the last word just because otherwise he'll whine all week, Coach. So anyway, give us a little synopsis. You got that W early, that exciting overtime victory,
right.
And you've written about, while the scores haven't necessarily been the way you are, this is a special group of kids you have there. Tell me a little bit about the progress since we had you on 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Well, it's a great group of kids like we have every year. They show up, they work hard, they're blue collar. They do everything you ask them to do, and we're 52 strong in that locker room. We're all in it together. Sure, we'd like to be 4-1 right now, but the reality of it is we're 1-4. And I'm always teaching life lessons and so forth, and I always tell kids, say, look, I wish I had $1 million in my bank account, just like you wish you guys were 4-1. The question is, what are you going to do to work for it? How are you going to respond? How are you going to respond when life is tough? You're going to fold the tent. You're going to keep fighting. So we may be 1-4, but our kids approach it like, hey, we're 0-0. Each week's a new week. Let's go get a W. They're fun to be around. Just there's so many things I wish I could talk about and share our story and the different things we do with these guys. It's just they mean a lot to me. They're good. A lot of them, don't come from much. I was talking to a player the other day. His sister is battling cancer. It's just him and his mom taking care of her. The dad's in prison. I mean, we have stories like that all over. It's tough. Mm-hmm. But that's why they need guys like me and Kat in this profession to show them the way and do everything we can for them off the field, because that's just as important as on the field stuff. So I love the Westerners. I bleed black and gold. It's a great group of kids, man, and I'm just honored to be here coaching them.
Well, gentlemen, it's been fun to have you on the line here together. I've said this before, and I say it all the time. Fans are tough out there, and as I've said to them, if you've never walked in a high school football coach's shoes, the hours and all that, you don't understand it. And more importantly, what you said at the end, Strunky, is true, and I'm sure Max has the same sort of stories, which is you guys are really second dads, and in some cases first dads. So I appreciate both of your time on the show. And Max, you know what? Just to tick Strunky off, you have anything to close with, because you should get the last word, just to get under his skin before the game.
No, I'm gonna take the high road here.
Well, guys, we
appreciate. Is that some kind of sideways short joke?
No. I'm going to tell you this though, that of all the Seinfeld characters, Strunky is Kramer.
See? Told you, Fish. I'm no George.
Yeah, no, you're not. You don't even look like him. I think I'm going to tweet that out here during the show to show people exactly what it's like. Anyway, guys, hey, enjoy the game tomorrow night. Thank you for taking the time. This has been a lot of fun. I think you've given people a real good inside look that there's more to X's and O's and games and all that. So thanks, and have a good game tomorrow night.
Right. Appreciate it. Thank you, Evan.
Hey. Yep, there'll be a new blog tonight, Jeff, from me, and Kat wrote one as well, so I'll be sending it along to you. Oh,
that's cool. I bet you his is going to be a little bit more grammatically correct. I got to change yours a whole lot. No, I'm just teasing.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Oh,
yeah.
wait, I got
I'm from the East Coast. I know.
I just got the last word in. Thanks, guys. We'll talk soon.
Thank you.
No problem.
It's Jason Strunk and Max Catwinkle going at each other tomorrow night there in West Texas in Lubbock. And I want to thank both of them for coming on. As Strunky said, both will have a blog tonight, as they've been doing over the last couple of years. You can check it out at The Turnaround at highschoolfootballamerica.com. And don't forget to also check out the new blog started this year by Coach Scott Valiz at Oñate High School in New Mexico. It's called A New Era, and he's been doing some great stuff up there that you can find at highschoolfootballamerica.com. I want to also thank our other two guests on the show, Cal Everett, the head coach at Harrisburg High School in Pennsylvania, number 80 in the High School Football America Top 100, and Lane Hatcher. Congratulations to him, 745 yards passing last week against Little Rock Christian Pulaski Academy, ranked number 67 in the High School Football America Top 100. Big games tonight in the Top 100. Follow them live at highschoolfootballamerica.com, our live scoreboard powered by ScoreStream. Just go to highschoolfootballamerica.com, click on scores. You see two things there. You'll get a live Top 100 scoreboard. You'll also get our state-by-state live scoreboard. The best place to get your high school football scores all weekend long is at highschoolfootballamerica.com. Again, a reminder, tomorrow night we will be live on Facebook. No scoreboard show this week. We will be live live at the big game here in Southern California. Number 1, top-ranked Mater Dei, the Monarchs, taking on number 15, St. John Bosco. Should be a dandy. Again, it's facebook.com/High School Football America. Just like us there, and you'll be able to follow everything that we do from the pregame right through the game. It should be fun. Live video coming up tomorrow from Southern California at High School Football America's Facebook page. Follow us on Twitter. HSFB America is the handle, and that is going to do it for tonight's show. Don't forget, brand new High School Football America Top 100. We come out before anybody does. That will be on Sunday. We always do it somewhere around noontime Pacific time at highschoolfootballamerica.com. For now, this is Jeff Fisher saying good night and good sports from Southern California. You've been listening to America's favorite high school football talk show, High School Football America.